Once knowledge was found, once the water stood still, once the earth stopped shaking, once the damage was done, once the fire stopped burning, was the day they felt rage ignite. From the day forward, they became American-born savages.
What's up, everybody? Looking like we made it. The green screen's messed up a little bit. Oh, well. There you go. She did it.
I did it.
As everybody knows, I'm Chills. That is Nate. And that is Satan in her own. That's Shanna. I better watch what I say. I don't want to get beat up after stream. Tonight, we got a couple different conversations. We're going to try something different. See how things all work out. Let me see. Where you want to start off, Nate? How was your Renaissance Festival?
Good. I had a lot of fun. In fact, I'm going again on Monday.
Ooh,
Going again on Monday.
I always wanted to go.
I see. Do you dress up and everything for it?
Yes, I do. I go as a wizard.
You would go as a wizard. There's so many things we can go into with that comment, and it's so messed up, but I can't do it. We got a bunch of different topics today. What's up, Mickey? So we got a bunch of different topics today. We're going to start off talking about different human species, because for some reason, every time I send this link or I post it on certain platforms, they wipe it out instantly. I don't know why, and I've sent it to two different people, and both people, the private message between us, it got erased. Yes, there's studies it mentions and everything from like large facilities, major schools, stuff like that, but it just gets wiped out every time. We're also going to try something different towards the end. We're going to check a comedy video out from back in the day and just discuss how it's so much has changed since from then till now. So where do you want to, and Sith, he may be here, he may not be. He had to run to Walmart because he's got a killer cat, and that cat's on steroids or something.
It is.
That has nothing to do with me. So where do you want to go into starting us off, Nate?
I ain't got no problem where you pick it and I'll follow.
Okay, well, hey, you checked out that article, right? I sent you.
Yeah, I read it quite briefly, but what I got from it was kind of interesting.
It says it through all the different interbreeding through the last thousands and thousands of years, that there's like 23 different human species that they found in DNA throughout or something of that nature, and it's really crazy. Now, before we really get into this, let me leave a disclaimer. This is we're reading from earthsky.com. So, or .org, not .com. Not .com. So, if anybody has an argument against it or something like that, and you don't put it in chat, but you take it as we're misinforming anybody, you're completely wrong. That would be them. We're just discussing this article. So, that's the thing that you guys will get. While you staring at me all crazy, you freaking me out. You don't let a woman sit there with ideas. Okay, so no, but basically it was saying that there's been so many different archaic homonyms, whatever, that there's around 23 different species. Now, every time this is talked about on a certain platform, it starts with an F, we get pulled from them. So if we're on that platform and you're watching, you probably want to jump elsewhere because they don't like this discussion. But we have the situation, and we are live on Twitch too, by the way. But we got the situation where we're finding out that the hybridization of human species is where we came from. Now we're going to go in. We always got to throw that odd man out question. So here's the question for everybody to think about until we're done with this topic. Could human species, the dominant traits, be based off of the dominance of the species? For instance, Homo erectus, Homo sapien, Homo habilis, the hobbits, We got them all. Neanderthal, all of it. So that's your question to think about. Nate, do you feel that you're more than one human species? Like, do you, from all the evidence that we've seen and things of that nature, how do you feel about that? Your microphone's not working, my friend.
Is it working now?
There you
There you
go.
go.
Okay, I had to just tilt it up. Okay, so based off that article, it does make a lot of sense, because you think about the different species like Homo erectus, Homo habilis, those that walked upright, man that walked, uses tools. We currently walk upright and use tools. It just kind of makes sense that, with all the different species that we are combined throughout them all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, well, I tried to put it on a screen, but every time I pull it up, it just goes clear.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess it's part of their copyright thing. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we see how the Homo erectus looked facial wise, and yeah, obviously nothing's going to be that tall now, and now like at this point in time. But all
Except
the
for Yao Ming.
skeletons, well, no, all the skeletons have these high raised cheekbones, like they could be Native American.
True.
I've seen a lot of different articles and things put it where, well, it could be this color or it could be that color, but on this one I wouldn't even consider a race. I would be going by bone features, and Native Americans have those high cheekbones.
That
But
they do.
it's just maybe the Yeti is the missing link, the Bigfoot. Who knows? But it does say that the guy Michael Hammer and a team of researchers at the University of Arizona used simulations to predict which DNA sequence would look like they had survived within DNA of its own cells. The team found evidence that anatomically modern humans probably interbred with other hominins, such as Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and more. And the results of their study appear in 2011 issue of the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. So it's not like it's just a random, hey, a couple people talking about it like us. This is in the National Academy of Science. She's pulling me backwards.
Nope, you pushed me over.
Here, you can slide over. Come on. So, and then it comes down. We know there is evidence, and you can go. I think NASA even has something written up about it on their website. I might be wrong, but I was looking through a whole bunch of different stuff. I know it was on IFL Science, where they found a 300,000-year-old Homo sapien. That tells me that their interbreeding's been going on a lot longer than people realize. What's your opinion? Where do you stand on this?
It's very, very quite possible because genetically speaking, two brothers could go and have their DNA done and come up with completely two different genetic patterns.
Me and John.
Yes.
We have we're same parents. He got his DNA done. I got mine done, and it shows different locations. That's just how that works out. I've looked into it numerous times, and it's just that's how it works out. Sometimes you got more dominance. But it's kind of crazy.
And you also have to think of recessed genes.
Mm-hmm. Dominant recessive.
It's kind of crazy though, because if you think about it, there are people that are born with traits that we don't understand. For instance, like you said, Yao Ming. What makes his pituitary gland produce that much of whatever hormone it is to keep allowing him to keep growing tall? So I feel that there still is things that slide in. I mean, there's been numerous times where a black couple or a white couple have a baby and a baby comes out the wrong color. and it's whether it be albinism or whether it's just a dominant previous family member. So I kind of feel that instead of us always claiming that, oh, it's evolution, no, it's not evolution because we're ignoring most of the history of the human species to be able to consider, oh, it's only evolution. No. If you think about it, if we were interbreeding, we know we got Neanderthal, the what is it? Immune system. We have some of our immune system came from Neanderthal. So did the allergies that come from plants and stuff like that. That's also been written about. We've got different characteristics from different species, but we don't acknowledge that. If we're going to say it's evolution, then we'd have to say, hey, evolution does involve other species of humans being interbred. But then we're looked at like we're crazy.
Well, it's the same thing for the animal. Certain animals bred together make different animals.
Sometimes only in captivity, like a liger.
Right, but it has happened in nature.
Yeah. That's the boring part. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love learning about stuff like this and talking about stuff like this. But on this topic alone, I should have got more information on different aspects of it. However, I'm still looking at other things and arguing about religion with Candyman. So I've been busy with that one too. So there's other things. Nate, we're not really gonna get into religion very much at all. But I sent this question to Candyman.
Wow.
And I wanted to ask you the same thing. Where's it at? This week's question with religion is does religion push for a hollow earth?
Wait, say that again?
Does the Christian religion or any Abrahamic religion push for the existence of a hollow earth?
I can't think of anything in Old or New Testament that would hint to a hollow earth theory.
Okay.
Other than, I mean, if you stretch Revelation, the gates of hell, the pit. I mean, that could be a stretch on it.
It's been
for Hollow
mentioned
Earth.
numerous times. How many times have you seen the void mentioned in the Bible?
The void?
70 times, 73 times or something.
But would that be considered Hollow Earth?
Well, I would say probably not. But we have a problem by that statement. That's why I asked the question. There's a city. It's in Turkey. What's the name of it? Can't think of the name. It's the city's thought to have housed around 70,000 people in the 2nd and 3rd centuries CE. Situated beneath the city of Midyat, the complex. Where the hell is the name of it? Target. There was a name for it. I just can't see. Well, anyway, there's a city where 70,000 years. Kuyu. That's the name. Kuyu is an underground city. Here's the link. Here's a link. I will send it to you in a private message in chat so that way you got it. Okay, this huge underground city may have been a refuge for 70,000 early Christians. And this is on the Smithsonian Magazine. So I will do this. Browser. Okay. See, it did it again. Blending mode. So for anybody unaware, we got a big update on OBS, and now all my screens are transparent. So I can't. Well, either way, let me see. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. Sorry about that one. It ain't gonna work. Well, anyway, the Smithsonian Mag had it says this huge underground city may have been a refuge for around 70,000 early Christians. The complex may have been used as a shelter during Roman rule in Turkey. Persecuted by the Romans, early Christian in what is now Turkey went underground literally. Archaeologists have found evidence of a massive subterranean city that they believe was designed for just that purpose. The city is thought to have housed roughly 70,000 people in the 2nd and 3rd centuries CE. Live Science's Tom Metcalf reports researchers believe the city is estimated to cover over an area of 4 million square feet and was used as a refuge by persecuted Jews and early Christians. Situated beneath the city of Midyat, the complex was found in 2020 during a routine restoration work on the city's historic houses. According to the Wall Street Journal's Joseph D. Avila, after discovering the hidden entrance to the cave, workers took a passage that led them to the massive complex. So somebody found this under their basement. He was working on it and he found it. Just imagine. Can you imagine that one, Nate? Let me see. More than 40 other
trippy.
cities have been discovered in Turkey. The most famous, which is Derinkuyu. It's believed to have been built between the 8th and 9th centuries BCE, able to hold around 20,000 people. Do you realize what that is saying? In the 8th, thank you, whatever that means. Bang Nor official. I'm not sure what that means. But it's kind of crazy because we're talking 13,000 years ago. Why does everything seem to go back 13,000 years and then be just disappeared?
Seems like they were planning for real big at that.
It really, really does. Absolutely does. Oh. Good morning to you, Bang Noor. I Googled it to see what that meant. But it why? Think about this, Nate. It always goes back to 13,000 years. All these different cultures 13,000 years ago. I think it's because of you.
Because of me.
It's because of Nate. Okay.
Because
So
I'm an alien.
Yeah, I think it's really crazy how even things like this that we're looking at, it doesn't have nothing to do with anything we've looked at before. And it's talking first settled 4,000 years ago in the Hurrians during the Bronze Age. It's talking, they always take us so far back. This is another one. It's 4,000 years ago. So we keep going back. We need to know the truth. I feel that there's a lot of the history that's still hidden from us. Now, for the next part. What is it? Is it this one? No. I have this thing that me and Nate got set up. Okay, let me see. He's gonna get violent with me, people.
I couldn't feel my
I
foot.
see nothing.
I thought that I had a window open already.
You probably asked him.
I did. I absolutely did. Now it's gone. So I didn't think the weird part.
Fumble.
With your ADHD butt.
Get a choke slam. Okay, so now I'm gonna play. We're gonna check out this video. Okay, I don't own the rights to this video, and I'm gonna pause it, like consistently a lot. So just be prepared, because this is something that we got to discuss. When it comes to comedy, we got too many of these social justice warriors destroying it, and it really starting to seem like comedy is dying because of that.
Oh,
we still have a few that are really, really great. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of our comedians were losing due to the cancel culture. We shouldn't. We're going to check out a comedian from back 15, 20 years ago, when comedians had the heart to say whatever they wanted to say.
No. If you're going with who I think it is, we're talking 20, almost 30 years ago.
Well, this comedian got himself in all kinds of trouble because he said every word he wasn't supposed to. Let's go ahead and check it out and see what he's got to say. This is George Carlin, The American Dream. No, that is a commercial. So now we're going to close this.
We need to get us some premium, huh?
It's not that. It's through OBS.
Buying things. People spending money they don't have on things they don't need. Money they don't have on things they don't need.
You can hear
so
that,
they can
right,
max
Nate?
out their credit cards and spend the rest of their lives paying 18% interest on something that costs $12.50. And they didn't like it when they got it home anyway. Not
Tell me that ain't happening right now. As we speak. Spend money
Yes,
that they
it
don't
is.
have on things they don't need.
too bright, folks. Not too fucking bright. And they spend the rest of their lives paying 18% interest on something that costs $12.50. And they didn't like it when they got it home anyway. Not too bright, folks. Not too fucking bright. But if you talk to one of them about this, if you isolate one of them, you sit them down rationally, you talk to them about the low IQs and the dumb behavior and the bad decisions, right away they start talking about education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They said we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools. We need more testing for the kids.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right here because we're seeing that currently right now, and we're seeing a big issue on both sides. So we're not going to go into political aspects, even if he does. Just wanted to pause it to point that out. No matter if he talks political or not, we're not going into politics on. Yeah, we're not doing that. But he makes a lot of sense at exactly what he said. So let's keep listening.
You say to them, well, you know, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. He says, don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. And that's what they do in a lot of these schools now. They lower the passing grades so more kids can pass. More kids pass, the school looks good, everybody's happy, the IQ of the country slips another 2 or 3 points, and pretty soon all you'll need to get into college is a fucking pencil. Got a pencil? Get the fuck in there. It's physics.
Sorry, I like that guy. Funny.
Just imagine, Nate, if somebody said something like this right now.
Oh, they'd be all over him.
I think that if they said something like what he said right now, depending on who said it, would be depending on if they got canceled or not. But what he's talking about is completely legitimate. This is when comedy had heart. And like I said, I'm not taking away from comedians like Dave Chappelle, like Joe Rogan, like the Brian guy. There's so many different really great comedians.
My favorite's Ron White.
Ron White, Billy Connolly, some of the greatest comedians ever still currently around.
Mm.
But can you imagine if they were able to be unleashed and off the chain?
Oh my
Get
goodness.
into college is a fucking pencil. Got a pencil? Get the fuck in there. It's physics. And everyone wonders why 17 other countries graduate more scientists than we do. Education. Politicians know that word. They use it on you. Politicians have traditionally hidden behind three things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start, left behind. Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy.
Let me pause it there, because I know this video now. This is when, like I said, when comedians had balls. Cojones.
I mean, even I'm going to sidestep for a second, but remember, Eddie Murphy,
Mhm.
like his raw performance,
Mhm.
and now look at him.
Look at
Right.
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock's another one.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker.
Well, Dave Chappelle hasn't really gone soft. He's
The
just
Wayans
Dave
brothers.
Chappelle.
I'm not saying they went soft. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying look at
Well,
how
no,
they were
but
persecuted.
Oh yeah, but I mean, with the whole Eddie Murphy, like he used to be, Raw. That episode Raw, or that special Raw was Raw. Now look at him. He's totally different
Yeah.
than what he was back then,
Absolutely.
because he shifted his entire MO, so he became more family oriented.
Just put it this way: he's told what he can and can't say.
Yeah, pretty much.
People pulling them strings. Let's keep going.
Ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media news, all the big media companies. So they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by.
Okay, I'm going to back that up a few seconds, but I don't think anybody'd be able to argue that anymore. I don't think anybody would have a legitimate argument against what he's saying. Like I said, we're not getting into any politics, but what he's saying is 100% legitimate. And I think he might have gotten in trouble over these comments. What do you think, Nate?
He's telling the truth, and yeah, if he were to say this stuff today, he'd be in a lot of trouble.
No, I think he got in trouble for saying.
Well, but that's the thing. That wouldn't be the first time that he's gotten in trouble for saying stuff he shouldn't have said. But he had the attitude of, I don't care, I'll pay the fine.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
City halls, they got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media news, all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right.
Let me pause it again. That statement is very true. It doesn't matter who your enemies are. It doesn't matter who you believe to be your enemies or not. Always got to keep in mind, if they can't control you, if they have because you're using logic or logical thinking, critical thinking, then you're going to win automatically. What he's saying though is just so spot on, and it's been like it for so many years. Say something.
I'm good.
Oh, I thought she wanted to say something.
No, I was paying attention to what the freak you were saying.
It's the critical thinking. Exactly what Carlin's talking about. We don't get enough of it no more.
They don't teach you to do that anymore.
Common sense is not common.
It's capable of critical thinking. They don't want
it's a misnomer.
It is.
Well-educated people
It should be
capable of critical
uncommon
thinking.
thinking.
They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
They're uncommon
That's
sense.
against their interest. That's right. You know something? They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want...
I think we're about there right now. What do you say, Nate?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, let's be honest about it. It's really starting to seem that way.
Well, I can remember, 2-3 years ago, talking about how when we are old enough for Social Security, it's going to be gone.
Yeah. It's still here, but it's barely hanging on. It's absolutely
by a
barely
thread.
hanging on. And for anybody wondering, I'm just verifying because I'm not seeing anything from Twitch. So, let me see. All right, yeah, we're still good. We're good. So, what do you think? Like, do you see all the differences in the way comedy is being changed? Like, I don't even really like to pull up new comedy because there's so much of the BS in it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The only comedy that I like anymore is like Jeff Dunham.
No, there's that little short guy, the little I don't know his name, but that little tiny guy is like 3 feet tall. I don't want to call him what he calls himself. And then there's the guy with autism. Them guys crack me up.
Josh Blue, the one with cerebral palsy, he's hilarious.
The guy, Captain Autism, is what he puts his channel under on some things, or somebody does it for him. But I think his shirt said it also. And this dude, he's shaking and everything. The whole time he's trying to tell these stories and he's dying. And just watching him, you can turn the sound off and still laugh. But when you hear the joke, you're in tears laughing. But let's keep playing. We got about 2 minutes left.
Your fucking retirement money. They want it back. Social Security pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hardworking people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a
I'm backing that up. Because what he's saying, I think both sides can agree on. We all elect these. I said, no, I'm not going to get political.
Nope.
Go ahead, Nate. I'll let you talk.
Some of what he says made me do a flashback to an old 80s movie with Roddy Piper in it, They Live.
That movie's been being talked about a lot more lately. I've noticed that. I've seen other people talking about it. The only
But if you
difference
think
between that
about it,
movie and what's going on currently right now in this world is we don't have the glasses.
yeah, we need
You
a
just gotta rub.
set of them glasses.
No, we don't. All you got to do is rub your eyes and look twice. But yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I was playing with the flower. I like the wave. Sorry.
TMI. TMI.
No, that flower. I got her one of them
okay.
Forever Roses things.
Okay.
But let's keep going.
white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter
Real-
what color shirt you have on. Good,
I have
honest,
nothing to do with
hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day.
Oh my
Because
goodness
the owners
gracious.
of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Try this.
Diabetes thing.
Okay.
Shanna
That's
freaked
a heck
out
of
for
a place
minute.
to stop.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna delete it now because I don't want it starting every time I open. But okay, so I've always wanted to check out funny things when we're streaming, and the only way that I felt right to be able to do it is we had to check something for Carly. Being the fact he's, in my personal opinion, him and Pryor would have been the comedy kings. You can't say one's better than the other. They were both that good.
Oh yeah.
So I would say that they was the comedy kings. That's why it was either going to be George Carlin or Richard Pryor with the first thing that we checked out on the stream. Now, I don't know what this new comedy is coming from. And I tried to watch woke comedy the other day. It was the dumbest thing.
I can't watch the at all.
But what I want to do is I do want to start reacting to some TikTok videos, maybe on YouTube and on TikTok, maybe on Facebook. It's the short videos, so it might be on any. So if you guys have them, send them the requests at cHiLzTheSavage.com and start reacting. However, what we got going on right now is it's looking like we are about to wrap up the stream. We try to make them around 40 to 45 minutes, and right now we are at 40 minutes. So we're going to wrap up the stream, and we will be coming back next week. I will be here. Nate, will you be making it next week? As of right now.
I'm not. As of right now, yes. I have to see what my new work schedule's like.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I said as of right now. Nate did just start working a new job, so if he can't make it, where everybody's already in advanced knowledge. Sith, on the other hand, I think he's still fist fighting a kitty cat, and the kitty cat's probably winning. Yeah. So, you guys want to check out more content? You can always click on the channel or whatever. I'm not doing a whole spew to close out. Look, we just had a conversation. We checked out some George Carlin. We bullshitted for a little bit, and now we're getting the hell out of here. I'll see you sometime throughout the week. Until then, stay savage.